Hello, this is Brighton TV and this is the match preview for Brighton vs Wolves. And last week vs Palace, it was really disappointing. We lost 1-0 and in a game where we dominated, we had most of possession and we had a lot of shots. We had much more chances than them. We had 24 shots. That's the most we've had in a Premier League game. And with 3 massive chances missed in a Dunk's free header where he ended up heading it into Maupay. Another chance where Maupay was one-on-one with the Palace keeper and it ended up being straight at the Palace keeper. And another where Solly March ended up getting a ball and he ended up shooting just wide after a really good Trossard cross. They were our 3 best opportunities and we missed it. It was really frustrating that we did that, since that could have changed our game if we ended up scoring one of them. That just shows. I've seen lots of people saying that Potter needs to change, and some people even saying Potter needs to go. But it's not Potter's fault. He's done everything right. It's just the players' lack of decision making sometimes in the final third that needs to improve. And Potter has done everything else right. And thus Wolves, I think Potter will play a more defensive style because we've been so prone on the counter-attack, especially when we play a 4 at the back. And Wolves, how they play, they're the best counter-attacking team in the league. They'll thrive against us if we play in our usual style where we play real free-flowing football. If we play more defensive, Wolves will struggle to break us down, and that's what I think we should do. So that's why I think that's what should happen. We should play more defensive, have less possession and hit them on the counter-attack. And earlier on in the season when we played Wolves, we drew 2-2 and it was a really good point against a really good side. And now they're even better. They're on really good form. They're playing well in the Europa League as well. And in their last 6 games, they've picked up 11 points. And if you compare that to our form, where we've only got 4 points, that shows how well they've played. And that the fact that we need to improve, since at the moment we're 1 point above the relegation zone. So that's why if we do end up getting something from this game, it will lift us closer to survival. And our big chance conversion rate is the worst in the league. That just shows we need to improve that. We need to improve our finishing in order to go and get better in a better league position. And I know lots of people think we don't shoot outside the box enough, but the fact is it's the opposite. A really high percentage of our shots are taken outside the box. I believe it's one of the top 5 most in the league. That shows that we sometimes don't actually go into the box enough and we shoot too early instead of getting into the box where we'll be in a better position. So that's why I think we need to change that slightly and get more direct positions. And my formation for this match, I think it should be a 3-4-1-2 formation with Ryan in goal, with a back 3 of Dan Burn, Lewis Dunk and Adam Webster. And I know lots of people don't like Webster and how he plays, but I think he will be needed for this type of game because Duffy, he isn't fast enough in comparing him to Webster. Webster's better on the ball, he's quicker than him, so he can play against Wolves' fast players. And not only that, Webster seems to thrive in a 3 at the back formation compared to when he plays in a 4-back formation as one of the 2 centre-backs. He doesn't play as well, but in a 3 at the back formation he plays really well. And Dan Burn versus Palace, and just overall consistency throughout the season, he's been one of our best players. And I know lots of people say that he shouldn't be playing left back, but when he's been playing left back, he's played really well. So that's why I think Burn should play. And the wing backs who I think should play for this game, I think it should be Bernardo and Lamptey. And Bernardo, I think he'll give us more defensive cover, so then we can deal with Wolves' really good attack. And a player like Traore, he's really good. I think Bernardo and Burn on him will be really good defensively to go and counteract him. And then Lamptey, I think due to how fast Wolves' attack is, I think Lamptey will give us 2 really big things. One is the ability to go back really quickly, and 2, the ability to counter-attack due to how fast he is. I think Lamptey will be able to go and help us in this game. And then the 2 central midfielders, I think it should be Stevens and Alzate. And Alzate, he's so good at dribbling in tight spaces, and I think he can help us get out of a mess if we are in it. So that's why I think Alzate should play. And Stevens, before his injury, he played really well, and he was one of our most consistent performers. And I think we've missed him because right now we don't have the player who can pick the ball up from deep in midfield and then end up doing a cross-field ball to one of our attackers, and that's what I think Stevens brings, as well as his tackles and his pass accuracy. So that's what I think Stevens should play. And then Alexis McAllister, I think, should play in the attacking midfield position, and I think it's between him and Gross, and the reason is because Trossard and Moy, I was disappointed in their performances versus Palace, and Moy, since signing permanently, he hasn't played as well. He's had a dip in form, and Trossard as well. He plays a lot better coming off the bench, so that's why I think both of them should be dropped. And I think Alexis McAllister should make his first start since being recalled, and he creates lots of chances, and as I said earlier, most of our shots are outside the box, so that's why I think with him, he's really good at shooting outside the box. That's why I think he should play. And then Glenn Murray. Glenn Murray should be one of our two strikers along with Aaron Connolly. Glenn Murray, his hold-up plays amazing. He ends up bringing other people into the game a lot. He's able to win us free kicks when we need it. And that's how we ended up scoring versus Sheffield United earlier, where through Glenn Murray, who's got lots of free kicks, and we ended up scoring through a set piece. So that's why I think Glenn Murray should play. And alongside Aaron Connolly, I think them two together will be a really good combination. And I think Connolly, he doesn't miss as many big chances as Malpai. And not only that, his ability to get into spaces where most players can't due to his pace, it gives him such an advantage. And that's why I think he should play. So then he'll give us a counter-attacking threat versus Wolves. And my score prediction for this game, I think, will be 2-2. And I think it will be Jota and Jimenez to score for Wolves. And for us, I think Glenn Murray will score twice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Brighton TV and follow us on Instagram.